morning. It's Thursday morning, November 18th, and I thought I would take you along for a week of the life on the homestead. Friday the 19th, I think? 19th or 20th, I think it's the 19th. So just continuing on with kind of a week in the life. This morning I made my to-do list. I'm working on something called Building an Atomic Habit, which is this book that I'm still reading and a friend was telling me about. So the idea of atomic habits is because like an atom is made up of tiny particles, so is our life, made up of lots of tiny little habits or lots of tiny little things that we're doing. So I'm trying to slowly build new habits and continue to improve on routines and other habits and get rid of old habits, and it's an ever revolving door. It can be something as small as every morning when you wake up you turn off the lamp beside your bed or whatever, but it's just building a pattern of consistency. So that's something that I'm passionate about installing in my life and growing in and getting better. So for a month, I literally every morning when I came down the stairs, I turned off the lamp that is by our bathroom and it's shining in the front window. And at night, I turn it on when it's getting dark. And the reason I chose that as my first atomic habit, as simple and probably weird as that sounds, is I love sitting by the fire in the evenings and working on a project or just staring at the fire or whatever. And the hallway that goes past that I can see in my line of sight sitting at the fire, there's that lamp at the end of it. And I just thought, oh, it's so cozy when that lamp's on one night when I noticed it. And I thought, well, I could turn that lamp on every night. It brings me joy and it's something so simple and silly, really. So now I've built the atomic habit of turning that lamp on every night and turning it off every morning. And it actually feels weird. I've been away the last 2 weekends doing other things, and so not being home for 2 or 3 days in a stretch and not being able to turn off and on my lamp felt really weird. So anyway, my next atomic habit that I've chosen to work on is having a home prepared meal every night, which may sound strange. Some of you guys probably have done this for forever, but Josh and I, when we were doing renovations, got into the habit of eating out more often, and we've really cut back on that the last several months and really aren't eating out that much. But it's very easy just to be like, okay, well, whatever, just eat some pasta or something. So it's important to us to eat healthy, and we're trying to work on that. So my atomic habit that I'm working on right now is putting a home-cooked meal on the table every evening. So our Saturday was really full. Josh was working on a renovation up the valley, and so I went with him and did some work with him, helped him with some demolition and painting, and then we headed over to a life schoolhouse swap. And I'm really excited to share with you more about life schoolhouse in this video because it's something that is near and dear to Josh and I's heart. We run a small branch of it, and we're just getting started and figuring out how to do our portion of that. The swap that we went to and got to take part in, I'm doing some filming for. I'm really trying out some different avenues of filming because I'm realizing how passionate and I am about it, how much I love it. And so I'm doing some filming for Life Schoolhouse in Annapolis Valley for my friend Maureen. And so the process of doing a swap is so fun because everybody brings things that they've created, and it all goes on a big community table. Or in the circumstance for the swap yesterday, I think there was a total of 3 or 4 tables because there were so many things that people brought. And there was about 28 or 29 people, and we all gathered, and everybody brought all kinds of cool stuff. There was like a wreath for your front door made out of candy canes. There was a really cool picture that I'll show you that I ended up getting. Josh brought some handmade hot pads that are made out of wood, like for you to put your kettle on, some woven ones. He brought some, I can't tell you the other thing he brought because he's making some for some of my siblings for Christmas. So some of them watched the vlog, so I can't say what he's making, but they were pretty cool. And then I brought some different ornaments and some produce from our garden that I canned, and I can't remember what all I brought, but it's always such a fun time because you bring things to offer, and not everybody cans their own produce, so they're getting a chance to get canned produce, and I sure in the world do not paint, but sometimes I get a painting, or I got this beautiful piece of photography that someone did, like, so things like that. So it's a really cool opportunity. And then I got to sit next to a lady and see how she's knitting toques for a whole class of graduates, you know, like just learning what people spend their time doing, what makes them tick, what they enjoy. And the other cool thing about it is, like, I got to learn about the things she brought and hear more of the stories, and something I like to learn about this lady I never knew. I've met her a couple of times, at least once, if not twice now, at other events, and didn't know anything about her. So it's a cool opportunity to get to know other people that your paths just never cross otherwise. So it's a lot of fun. And the heartbeat behind it is to grow your community and to know the people that you walk the same streets with and you go into the same grocery stores with, but you may never talk to. So anyway.
Oh, you're not on again. Number 4.
Hello. Hello. We are headed to a friend's house down the road, like just down the road. I actually made Josh slow down so I could get a chance to film this. Josh is gonna help climb up on the roof and get some of it just secured. We were supposed to have a lot of rain in the next 3 days.
No, they are copper morans.
Oh.
Yeah, black copper morans.
Hello. I love the brown on their necks.
Yeah, so I think this one's gonna be a rooster because that brown.
Yeah.
I love this bird. He's like, nope, right, I'm going in.
Her name is Kerfuffle.
Kerfuffle?
Yeah.
Kerfuffle. He's a... No. He's perfect, right?
Yeah.
I'm surprised you don't have any of these inside of the pet though. How are you resisting?
Josh and then we're gonna work and get that roof covered so that their new shop is not destroyed inside or like flooded with all the rain. So I left him to do that, and Josh got me some buckets loaded up in the car. If I can get them unstuck from each other because they're kind of tight together. I am headed down to the bay. It's called St. Mary's Bay, which is about 10 minutes away, I think. I'm on a back road I'm not used to going on, so we'll see. But basically, I'm going to collect seaweed because I'm gonna get that garlic in the stinking ground. I was talking to an experienced gardener yesterday, and she told me it's not too late to get it in. Now's the perfect time. So, and it's only 7 degrees Celsius, so I'm assuming my hands are gonna be frozen by the end of this process. But I brought my fingerless mitts, but I couldn't find the match, so I have one yellow, one green. But you know what? It does the job. Who cares? Where are we going?
We're going to find a Christmas tree.
Okay, the rain has stopped, but it's gonna start for 3 more days, so.
So we better get fast.
Yeah, hurry, hurry, hurry.
I think I should thin some of these out so that we'll have more options.
Yeah, but these are all so tall already.
It's going, it's going, it's going. Get out of the way. Wrong way, tree.
The whole ground is, what, is this the swamp already? Like, it's like, whoosh. But it's not water underneath. Yeah.
So next year's Christmas tree, we're gonna use this, or cut down that. We're gonna rival Boston.
Put me down, put me down. Good morning. It's about 11:20 right now. I've been upstairs working on some plans for Christmas on the computer and answering some messages and all that kind of tech stuff. But coming downstairs, gonna get my to-do list going. It is Monday morning, almost Monday lunch, so almost not morning anymore. It's really dreary and cold outside. Actually, I haven't been out, so it's really dreary looking. I have no idea if it's cold. But it's supposed to rain and the winds are supposed to pick up tonight and be really heavy. And I was reading a thing saying that we should have our generator ready and your gas full and all that. So Josh filled up the car. And we got, topped up our oil and everything, so we're good to go there. Don't prepare if something happens. So I figure it's better to have everything topped up and ready to go and not need it than to get stuck needing it and not have it. So anyway, I think that's what I'm going to focus on today. We've got our candles and our matches and everything right here, easy access anyway. So I always picture myself stumbling around in the dark. How will I find anything? But it's like, I know where my candles are. I know where my matches are. I know the layout of my house. So I'm not going to put those out or anything, but although a candlelight dinner would be fun just for the sake of doing it. I may have to do that. Anyway, so I just wanted to show you real quick. Lola, I think that's her name. We started this tradition the first year we were married. And we've done it every year since, where we name our Christmas trees. And then we cut off, when you're cutting off the bottom of your tree to fit it in the height of your tree, to match the height of your house. You have to trim off some of the bottom. Sometimes you have to cut it shorter. So, because we went and got ours from the woods, you definitely have to trim it down. So anyway, so we cut off that bottom ledge and it's like a coaster. But what we do is Josh drills a hole through it and then we pick a name for the tree and we wood burn. I draw it on and then Josh wood burns the year and the name of the tree on, and then we hang it as an ornament the following year. So it's always a fun thing. Josh was saying to me last night, by the time we're been married 50 years, we'll have a tree full of wood. There won't be room for anything else, but that'll be fun. It'll be a tree full of memories. morning. It is Friday morning, last day of the week-long vlogging adventure. I hope that you're still here at the end of the week. It's been a crazy week, a lot of stuff going on, but I am finally out in the garden. It's warmer today. It's 7 degrees, so Celsius. So, but it's been like down to like 1 or 0 the last couple of days. So it's funny how 7 degrees a couple months ago would have felt freezing, and now it feels like spring. So, taking advantage of the warmer weather today, I've got to get this garlic in the ground. I was talking to a couple other locals, and they said it's not too late, get it in there. And I actually acquired, or Josh acquired, some garlic at the last swap that we went to that I showed you some footage of earlier last Saturday. So, we got some really cool, it's a hard neck garlic, and that's all I know. I'm not sure what it's actually called. And then we have some that we purchased to eat from a local farm down about 15 minutes from us. It's not technically seed garlic, neither of these are, and I didn't realize that you can just plant regular garlic too. So these are both from a local farm and then the local person who gardens. So I'm really excited to see how these grow. I'm going to use a tip that I keep hearing all the locals say to do, and they plant their garlic and then they cover it back up with the soil, and then they put a nice layer of seaweed, which I picked up the other day, put a nice layer of seaweed on top, and then you can mulch it with hay or I think even leaves. And we were talking to a garlic gardener who gave us this garlic, and they said that you can also put like your cold chicken manure on it. So we've got, from where I cleaned out the chicken coop this summer, I made a big old pile of the chips, like the wood shavings, and the chicken waste and all that stuff, and it's been sitting for a couple of months. So I am going to truck that over here afterwards and dump it all on top, and that way it'll have a nice layer to mulch it to keep it, to give it time to get roots going before it gets hit with a frost. We have had frost, but the weather here seems to have kind of simmered out and leveled out a little bit, so it's kind of nice. So anyway, with all that said, I'm gonna plant garlic, and if you haven't planted yours, go put yours in tomorrow too. I guess you'll see this at nighttime, so go put yours in too if you haven't already, and if not, learn how to do it for next year.